Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Maha-Bharata, Second Part, Chapter 27. Bhima fights Duryodhana. Scene 1. Hubris personified. The overbearing pride of Duryodhana.
As Ashvatthama called out to Duryodhana, a number of hunters arrived at the lake. Worn out from the day's hunting, they wanted to slake their thirst. But seeing the three powerful Kshatriyas, Ashvatthama, Kritavarma, and Kripa-Acharya, they hid themselves in the bushes and listened. They could then understand that Duryodhana was hidden in the lake. Undetected by the three Kauravas, the hunters listened as the warriors tried without success to convince Duryodhana to come out and resume the fight.
The hunters had been observing the battle fought between the world's Kshatriyas, and they knew the Pandavas would reward them richly if they told them the whereabouts of Duryodhana. Getting up quietly, they slipped away and went towards the Pandavas' camp to see Yudhishthir.
The Pandavas returned to their camp after their unsuccessful search for Duryodhana. After entering Yudhishthir's tent, they dispatched soldiers to search every part of the battlefield. And as they sat there, awaiting any news, guards ushered the hunters in. Falling at Yudhishthir's feet, the hunters told Yudhishthir everything they had seen and heard. Yudhishthir rose with a smile. Immediately he gave the hunters much wealth. And after dismissing them, Yudhishthir went with his brothers to the lake, which was called Dvaipayana. All the Pandava warriors went with them, roaring out, "We have found Duryodhana! Now let us finish him once and for all."
Meanwhile, the three surviving Kauravas, still trying to convince Duryodhana to come out, heard the approaching Pandavas, and so they called out, "O king, the proud and victorious Pandavas are coming this way, so we must leave."
The three Kauravas mounted their horses and rode into the forest just before the Pandavas reached the lake. The Pandavas saw that the waters of the lake were perfectly still. This was due to Duryodhana's mystical powers. And seeing this unusual sight, the Pandavas realized that Duryodhana must be hiding like a coward within the lake. Yudhishthir spoke to Krishna. "O Achyuta, just see how this deceitful man has used his powers of deception to avoid defeat. But Duryodhana will not escape me now, even if Indra himself comes to his side. Today, Duryodhana will die."
O Dharmaraj, with your own mystic powers, destroy Duryodhana's illusion. One conversant with illusion should be destroyed by illusion. This is truth. So many Daityas and Danavas, all masters of mystic power, have been slain by the gods by means of illusion. Therefore act swiftly, so that this wicked man meets his just ends.
"O best of men, why have you charmed this lake and hidden beneath its waters? How is it that you now desire to save your own life, having brought about the destruction of your family and friends, and indeed the destruction of millions of Kshatriyas? Duryodhana, arise and fight. Where is your honor? You have been described as a hero throughout all assemblies, but I think those descriptions have been proven false. You are nothing but a coward. Why, just see how you now hide from us just to protect your life. You wicked fool, come out and face the consequences of all your evil actions. Do not cower here like a eunuch. Heroes never fly from battle. Rather, they prefer death to dishonor. So, do not destroy your honor. Stand for battle. Either govern this earth after gaining victory, or sleep on the naked earth having been killed by us.
Yudhishthir waited for Duryodhana's reply, while the other Pandava warriors stood behind him. Yudhishthir looked around at his surroundings. The large lake gave respite from the heat and the dust of the battlefield. It was situated in a cool glade, and it was shaded by tall trees with many colored blossoms hanging down to its surface. Varieties of waterfowl sat in the trees, mystified by the lake's sudden transformation. A gentle breeze fanned the leaves, filling the air with a soothing rustle, which was punctuated by the melodic cries of birds. The Pandavas felt refreshed simply by seeing this picturesque region, which was the resort of various yogis and ascetics. After waiting for some time, Duryodhana finally called out, "O king, is it no wonder that fear seizes all living beings? But I have not entered this lake out of fear. Bereft of my army and standing alone in the battle, I am tired. Therefore I sought refuge in this lake just to rest. O son of Kunti, you should also rest. In due course, I will surely fight with all of you."
Oh, Duryodhana, we have rested sufficiently. No, the time has now arrived for our final battle. Come out and conclude this war, either by slaying us or dying a hero's death.
But in truth, Duryodhana was still saddened by the deaths of Karna, Shakuni, and all of his brothers, so he spoke with anguish in his voice. "O Yudhishthir, scion of the Kuru race, I no longer desire to rule this world, being deprived as I am of my kinsmen and friends. All those for whose sake I desired sovereignty now lie dead. So I give you this empty earth. Although I wish to defeat you and humble your pride, even my desire for battle is gone when I think of Drona and Karna and our grandsire Bhishma. I think I will enter the forest clad in deerskin, bent on a life of asceticism. Go, O king, and rule the earth, destitute of its monarchs, warriors, and wealth, for I will remain here."
But Duryodhana's words held a note of sarcasm which was not lost on Yudhishthir. Becoming now impatient, Yudhishthir replied, "I feel no pity for you, Duryodhana. Do not rave on. It was by your greed that everyone has died. I will not accept this earth as a gift, for that is not my duty as Kshatriya. Nor are you in a position to make such a gift, for you have already lost everything." Yudhishthir then smiled at his brothers and then continued, So tell me, O hero, why did you not make this offer when Krishna requested you? How is it that you once denied me even as much land as could be pierced by a needle? And now you wish to give me the entire earth? It is not yours to give, nor was it ever yours. Come out and win the world, or else go to the celestial regions after we slay you. For all the sins you committed against us, and especially the sins against the chaste Draupadi, you deserve to die at our hands, and so I shall not spare you."
The other Pandavas then shouted at Duryodhana to come out of the lake. They were angry and rebuked Duryodhana again and again. All the other warriors roared out their battle cries and waved their weapons. Hearing the tumult and reflecting upon Yudhishthir's words, Duryodhana now became enraged. He decided to fight, but was still apprehensive. "No, you Pandavas have friends, chariots, and animals, and I am alone and without a chariot. How can I stand against all of you? I do not feel this to be fair or in keeping with the codes of a Kshatriya. Allow me to fight with you one at a time, then I will come out. I am not afraid of any of you. I am like the rising sun, destroying the star-lit night. I will rise up and destroy all of you today. I will thus release myself from the debt I owe to all the slain warriors."
The Pandavas cheered when they heard Duryodhana's boastful words. Yudhishthir replied, "Yes, it is by good fortune that you now remember your duty, O mighty armed one. And it is by good fortune that you are now inclined towards battle. So you may choose any one of us and any weapon. I grant you that if you gain victory with any of us, you then may become king. Otherwise, killed by any one of us, go to heaven."
And within the lake, Duryodhana was smiling. He fingered his mace, which was by his side, and replied, "Brave as you are, O mighty ones, if you will allow me the option of choosing my weapon, then I select this mace I still hold in my hands. And you may let any one of you who feels he is a match for me to stand against me in battle. I will fight alone and on foot, armed only with my mace. But without doubt, I will slay you all, one at a time. Why, not even Indradev can face me when I stand armed with my club."
"Oh, Duryodhana, let us see. Come out, be a man. Death awaits you. You may fight in any way you like, but you will not escape."
Unable to tolerate Yudhishthir's goading, Duryodhana rose up from the waters. The Pandavas saw the surface ripple as Duryodhana came up from the bottom. Emerging from the waters with his mace on his shoulders, Duryodhana appeared like a mountain crest rising out of the ocean.
The Pandavas and their followers then embraced one another and shouted joyously to see Duryodhana emerge. Now the war could be concluded. The warriors waved their weapons and blew their conch shells. Duryodhana frowned and glared back at his enemies, having been insulted by their exclamations of happiness. Duryodhana bit his lips and was breathing heavily. Standing on the shore of the lake with water dripping from his body, Duryodhana looked around and then thundered, "Fie on you! You will all have to bear the consequences of all your insults. Today I will kill you all and send you all to the abode of Yamaraj."
And as he spoke, Duryodhana brought his mace down from his shoulder and struck the earth, making the ground tremble. He stared angrily at Yudhishthir and spoke, "O descendant of Kuru, here I am. Now, abide by your words, and let me fight any one of you. I have only my mace. Send forward my opponent, who will fight with me on equal terms. You, Dharmaraj, should referee the contest, because you are known as being well qualified, and you can judge what is right and what is wrong."
Now, Duryodhana was glancing at Bhimasena, who also stared back at him with unbridled hatred. Both men knew very well this final contest would be between them. Bhima stood with his mace by his side, thinking of his vow to kill this final Kaurava. Oh, he so longed to leap forward at once, bringing his death-dealing mace down upon the head of Duryodhana with all of his might. But he checked himself, awaiting Yudhishthir's order.
Yudhishthir showed a wry, ironic smile upon hearing Duryodhana's request that he judge the fight. The intelligent king knew what Duryodhana meant. Bhima's promise had been that he would smash Duryodhana's thighs, and in mace fighting, blows beneath the belt were forbidden. Very well then, Duryodhana had been given ample warning. Bhima had made his intentions clear. He wanted to punish Duryodhana for his long-past crime against Draupadi. He would smash the thigh Duryodhana had shamelessly exposed before Draupadi in the assembly hall during the evil gambling match, and there would be no sin in meting out such punishment.
Yudhishthir was now moved to anger, recollecting the evil dice game. His reply was most stern. "Oh, Duryodhana, how is it you did not consider right or wrong when you and your followers killed Abhimanyu? Without doubt, the duties of a Kshatriya are harsh and merciless. Otherwise, how could you have slaughtered that child in such an unfair way? Why do you now ask that we fight you one by one? In difficulties, men are ever prone to forget virtue, caring nothing for the consequences of their deeds. However, O hero, I will give you a fair chance. Now, select any one of us as your opponent, and if you can defeat any one of us, then you will be king. Otherwise, proceed to heaven."
But Krishna looked surprised at Yudhishthir. What had overcome him? Duryodhana was famous throughout the world for his skill with the mace. Why, Balaram himself was the unrivaled master of the club, and he had said that his best student was Duryodhana. Perhaps Bhima could defeat Duryodhana, but it would be a close contest. And what if Duryodhana selects another opponent among the Pandavas? Who knew what the outcome would be then? It seemed to Krishna that Yudhishthir had once again staked everything on a single throw, just as he had done previously during the evil dice game of Shakuni.
Duryodhana laughed and stepped forward. The Pandava soldiers fetched Duryodhana a suit of armor, which he quickly donned. Now resplendent, Duryodhana spoke. "O Yudhishthir, I will fight with any one of you brothers. What difference does it make to me? For who can match my strength? I will kill you one after another. For there is no one among you who can face me in a fair fight. It is not right for me to vaunt my own prowess, but I must speak the truth. Yes, within 1 hour you will see my words proven true. Now let he among you who will fight me take up his mace."
Duryodhana's pride prevented him from selecting an easy opponent. He felt sure he would not be defeated, no matter who fought with him. Duryodhana was not even afraid of Bhima, and his intense hatred for that particular Pandava made him hope that it would be Bhima selected to fight. And that was likely, for who else could the Pandavas choose among them? He had been anticipating this day even while still living in Hastinapur, for Duryodhana had spent countless hours practicing beating an iron image of Bhimasena. Now he could exercise his skills against Bhima himself instead of an iron image.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Scene 2. Bhima agrees to fight Duryodhana. And as Duryodhana was speaking, Krishna slowly went over to Yudhishthir and then spoke quietly. "O king, I feel you have made a rash promise. What will happen if Duryodhana decides to fight you, or Arjuna, or even the twins? Only Bhimasena can face him with the mace. But even then, the outcome is still not certain. Although Bhima's strength is greater, Duryodhana's skills are much better, and skill usually wins over strength. Oh, I think you have made a grave mistake. Who else but you would relinquish a kingdom after winning such a great war and having only a single enemy left? Oh, my dear king, it seems Kunti's sons are not meant to enjoy sovereignty." Bhima had been standing by the side of Yudhishthir, and he overheard Krishna's words. "Oh, Madhava, do not grieve. I will end this war. Yudhishthir's victory is certain, because the wretched Duryodhana stands before me for battle. Allow me to fight with him. My mace is more powerful than Duryodhana's, and my skills are not lacking. What to speak of Duryodhana? Armed with my mace, why, I could fight with the celestials headed by Indradeva." "Bravo, bravo, Bhimasena. Yes, depending on you, surely Yudhishthir will regain his prosperity. You have slain all of Duryodhana's brothers and uncountable numbers of his troops. Now go forward and slay this wretch himself. Fulfill your promise, but fight with care. Duryodhana is a most formidable opponent with the mace." Bhima laughed in derision and stepped forward towards Duryodhana with his mace resting on his shoulder. His brothers cheered him, and Bhimasena thundered, "I dare fight this most arrogant and sinful one. He will not be able to defeat me. Today I will vomit forth the anger which has rankled in my bosom for so many years. My dear elder brother, today I will pluck out that dart which has been long stuck in your heart. O virtuous one, today I will recover your garland of glory. For on this very day, Duryodhana will renounce his life, prosperity, and kingdom. Yes, today, hearing of his son's death, Dhritarashtra will remember all of his sins against us." Bhima roared and whirled his mace, bringing it down with such force that the earth shook. Duryodhana could not brook or tolerate the challenge, and he stepped forward towards Bhima, raising his fist. Duryodhana glared back at Bhima, who returned his venomous look. They both appeared like a lion and a king of elephants facing off one another in the forest. Now staring into Duryodhana's smoldering eyes, Bhima spoke on. "O sinful man, do you recall how you insulted Draupadi and how you deceived the pious King Yudhishthir? Receive now the consequences of those actions and of the other wrongs you inflicted upon us Pandavas. It is only by your fault that Bhishma now lays prostrate on the battlefield. It is your fault alone that Drona has been killed and that so many other valiant heroes are now slain. And all of your brothers are dead, including that despicable one who dared to seize Draupadi's sanctified hair. Now you will follow them. Today your pride will be crushed along with any hope you have for sovereignty. Prepare to pay for all of your misdeeds." "Oh, Vrkodara, what is the use of your bold words? I will quell your desire for battle. Why do you disregard me? Just see my mace, like the summit of Mount Himavat. Why, not even Purandara, the Lord of the heavens, could defeat me in a fair fight. Who cares for all my so-called misdeeds? What can you or anyone else do about them? By my might, you have already had to suffer so much. You even became a cook in the house of Virata, and Arjuna became a eunuch. I have killed most of your allies, and you will be the next to die."
Bhima was ready. He seemed to be on fire as he glared back at Duryodhana. Remembering Bhima's vow, Duryodhana said, "But do not gain victory by any unfair means, O Vrkodara, for that will only deprive you of your reputation. Fight honestly with all of your strength, and then, defeated by me, you will gain everlasting fame."
And it was Krishna who suggested that the fight to death take place near the lake known as Samantapanchaka, which was a sacred place created by Lord Parashuram. The warriors all agreed and made their way to that site. And as they moved across the battlefield, Lord Balaram arrived, having just returned from his pilgrimage to all the holy places. Baladev was greeted with affection by Yudhishthir and his brothers. Krishna bowed before Balaram, touching his feet. "O Ram, witness now the skill of your two disciples, for just now they are proceeding to Samantapanchaka for battle." Because of his white complexion, Balaram looked like the full moon risen on the battlefield. Clad in his usual blue silks and adorned with gold ornaments, a garland of red lotuses on his chest, Baladev shone as he embraced both Bhimasena and Duryodhana, who each offered Balaram their obeisances. And after inquiring about the welfare of all the kings and Kshatriyas, and hearing how almost all of them had been slain, Balaram said, "Acha, I have already received news of the war from Narada Rishi, who told me that the fight between these two heroes was about to take place. Thus I have come. Some weeks ago, I left for my tour, deciding to side with neither party. Still, I have not changed my decision. I will watch the fight with a neutral heart." Balaram then joined the warriors as they went on foot the short distance to Samantapanchaka. Bhima and Duryodhana, both breathing heavily, strode angrily next to each other, staring ahead with their maces resting on their shoulders.
Well, you've got desires, and they're never satisfied. Your senses burn like fire. You've got nowhere to hide. So don't play with Maya, 'cause you're playing with fire. Don't play with Maya, 'cause you're playing with fire.